Today, I'm excited to walk you through the process of deploying Deepseek R1 on AWS Bedrock. Whether you are a machine learning engineer or a cloud enthusiastic, this tutorial will show you how to get this powerful language model up and running on AWS. So let's take a look. And this is the final preview of our product looks like. As you can see, this is a AWS Bedrock Playground, and we have successfully imported our Deepseek model here, and we can invoke this model by giving a prompt, and we can start chatting with it. So this is what we wish to achieve. And then let's have a look. So before we dive in, let's look at the workflow. We'll be covering three main stages. First, we will be cloning the Deepseek model and to our local machine. Then we will import the model source code to AWS S3 bucket. Finally, we will import the model to AWS Bedrock Playground. So let me break down exactly how we're going to achieve this. So this is a slight breakdown of each steps. And I split into three stages using three different colors. Okay, so now let's look at stage one. The first major step is setting up our EC2 instance. This is crucial. So let's get a configuration right. For our Amazon machine image, AMI, we will be using Ubuntu 22.04 with the GPU support. Well, GPU is entirely optional here since we're only cloning the model from Hugging Face into EC2. We're not actually running it on EC2, so GPU is not necessary. And the instance type is important. We are going to use a P2X large, which we have chosen based on DeepSeek's model size. And in this case, it's the DeepSeek model is 8 billion, which requires 20 to 30 gigabytes memory. And now let's talk about network settings, which is where many people run into issues. So you will need to configure a proper VPC, an appropriate subnet, security group with right routing tables, and most importantly, your network connection settings. You need to have an internet gateway and public IP addresses. So especially internet gateway, if you don't have that, then you are not able to, your EC2 instance will not be able to communicate to internet and cannot download the model. So make sure you have make sure you have the public IP addresses and or set up elastic IP addresses. Okay, so that's stage one, and this is the final look of your stage one. That's the overall flow of your virtual private cloud VPC. So before we go into next stage, you should be able to connect to your EC2 from your AWS console. So let me just close that and open up on our EC2. As you can see, I have a running EC2 here, and I'm able to connect to the terminal. So once you have the EC2 running, next thing you need to do is to clone the model. So make sure you go to the right place. This is where you can find the model. So the model is called Deepseek R1 Distilled Llama 8 billion. Of course, you can choose other types of model as well, as long as it compiles, the certain architectures that compatible with Bedrock Playground. And in this case, this model is a good option to start with because it's not too big and it doesn't take much of your space. So click here. You have a clone repository option. Click that, And you certainly see there's a git lfs install. So this is a large file storage. I would highly recommend you set that up before you clone the model. That means when your model is cloning, your large file system will automatically sort out these large files for you in a more effective way. So if you are using Unix or Linux system, you can directly use a git lfs install. However, if you are like me running a Ubuntu instance, I would recommend you to use this command. So I type it here. Okay, so if you run it, and it will be installing the large file storage system for you. This may take some time to run. I will just stop it here. Okay. Once you have this stored, the next thing you can do is to clone this model. Okay, I'm not going to run it because this will take at least 5 to 6 minutes to clone the model. I'm just showing you an example here. I'll paste the code in the comments below, so you should be able to try it out yourself. Let's go back to our slides. The next thing I want to show is moving on to stage 2. So supposedly we have our model cloned on our running instance. Next thing we want to do is we want to import this model from local instance into S3 bucket. So first we'll be creating a S3 bucket from our AWS console, or you can do it through CLI. If you are using console like me, this is the command you can use: AWS S3 make bucket MB, and then make sure you specify S3 comma 2 slashes and give a proper bucket name here. And also, once you have done that, on your EC2, you need to assign a role on your EC2 that allows your EC2 to access S3 bucket. If you are creating EC2 the first time, you probably don't have this role, so you need to specify that. This role can be found on IAM role, and it's called S3 full access. I can show you how to do it. Let's go to our EC2. So this is a running EC2 interface, the terminal. We need to go back to instances. And then the EC2 I'm running is a test instance. So, and we choose it. Then we go to actions, go to instance network setting, no, security, yes, security, and modify IAM roles. As you can see, normally when you are running the EC2 first time, and you create a new EC2, you shouldn't have any roles here. Now we need to assign a role for it, and the role I assign is called EC2 access S3. Okay, and then just update IAM roles. Okay, so we're good to go. And then I just want to quickly show you the role I just assigned, because I name it EC2 access S3, but it's actually in IAM where I can find the roles, and then EC2. So that's the role I assigned to my instance. If we click that, and you should be able to see the permission policies I gave. I gave this role full access to S3, and I also assign another 2 roles here are suggested by AWS, but these two are purely optional. Actually, I don't really need them here. They will be more useful in CDK deploy, which I'm going to show in the next video. Okay, that's pretty much everything. And if you go through, if you're using the command I just showed you, AWS S3MB, and then assign the role, you should be able to see a S3 bucket created in your S3 bucket list. And then what you want to do next is to synchronize your Deepseek directory to S3. Okay, and then go to S3, and this is the bucket I created. And once you synchronized it, you will have your Deepseek R1 Distilled model synchronized from EC2 to here. So that's your source code. If you open up, that's the files of your source code. So if you see something like that, then you're probably doing something. You're probably doing things right. You can also quickly check if the files are the same as you cloned from Hugging Face. So if you go to files and the versions, so that's all the source files you cloned from Hugging Face, and you can quickly compare with the files you have here. Okay, so that's stage two. This should be straightforward. Again, I will give all the necessary comments codes in a separate file, so you should be able to follow the steps. I'm here just quickly show you the steps. Okay, the next part is very easy. It is to import a model from a foundational model and give it a name, assign an execution role, and wait until job finishes. And this is the part where we import our models from S3 into AWS Bedrock Playground. Let's take a look. Okay, so let's go to Bedrock. Okay, in Bedrock, we have a section called Imported Models on the navigation panel. Click that. And as you can see, I already have the model imported, but I'm just quickly showing you how to do it. Click Import Model, this button. Okay, and just give it a name. Just say Kit, and I can say Demo. VPC settings, okay, this is optional, you don't need that. So import the job names, it will automatically give you a job name, so don't need to change, no need to change that. And where's your source code? You want to import it from S3 buckets, so choose that. Oh yes, you can also develop your own model from SageMaker, but that's a different story. Right now, in this case, we are just looking at S3 buckets. Okay, we can browse it. Browse it. If you don't have many buckets here, you can quickly find it. If you do, then you can search it by name. Okay, choose it. All right, and encryption, no need to that. And the service access, make sure you check create and use new service role. And this will automatically assign a role to your Bedrock because Bedrock needs to communicate with other services on AWS. If you are familiar with the principle of IAM roles, that is enable association between AWS services, and this is part of it's a function. Yeah, if you have checked everything, then you're good to go. Once you click import model, it should be the model will appear on, I'm sorry, time's running out, so it signed me out. Let me just sign back in quickly. Where's my, uh, uh, Okay. All right. Apologize for that. There's a little notch here. Okay, let's go back to Bedrock. So yeah, continued. So once you imported that model, you should have a job here showing a status running. That means your Bedrock is reading the model source code from S3 and importing it into the playground. So wait for like 5-6 minutes for the first time, and once the job is done, you should be able to see your model imported here. And if you want to play with it, select the model and just choose Open in Playground. Okay. Okay, yeah, it's here. And we can asking questions. What is AWS? It might take some time for it to warm up. And if you see some red warning sign, that's completely normal because before you invoke the model needs some time to warm up, and it just happens occasionally. But this is absolutely normal. Feel free to try it several times and give it a few minutes, and it should work. Okay. While we are waiting, let's go back to our slides. So I just quickly want to summarize what we have done. First, I think this deployment process is a good tutorial in basic AWS services. You will work with EC2, S3, VPC, subnet, route tables, and IAM roles. So these are basic services on AWS. It's good for beginners to start the roadmap. And second, don't get discouraged by configuration issues. They took up about over 90% of my time and efforts, which is totally normal. And remember, AWS best practice, failure is normal, and it's also a great opportunity to learn. And one interesting note is that the current DeepSeek model is Distilled Llama 8 billion, meaning that it has 8 billion parameters. But this is not the full version, 70 billion parameters. So there is definitely room for improvement in the future versions. So right now, I'm showing you this was the whole process was on AWS console, and including setting up EC2 S3 buckets and importing into Bedrock Playground. Everything I was manipulating the services on AWS console. But in my next video, I'm actually going to show you how to do it on CDK, which is a more recommended way to do it, especially if you have a very complicated project. You want to document every steps you did, and if you accidentally delete something and you don't want to mess up the whole system. So that's it. I hope this tutorial you find help you deploying DeepSeek on AWS Bedrock successful. If you run into any issues, remember that the troubleshooting is part of the process, and drop your questions in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more AWS tutorials. So let's go back to our Bedrock. Hopefully it's working now. Otherwise, it would be quite awkward. Okay, there we go. Now it's working. So you do need to give it some time. I guess because this a very small model, or could be part of this Bedrock Playground issue. So yes, it does take some time to warm up, but it doesn't mean it's not working. And you can also invoke this model locally on your code. You can use Python or Rust to invoke it. Okay, so that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe and stay tuned for the next video.